were born before the wind, also younger than the sun. Yeah, the bonnie boat was one as we sail into the mystic.
Welcome to Three, the most innovative metaphysical program ever created. Join Kris, Rainey, and Mona as these amazing intuitives provide you with a three-dimensional divination into your most important questions. Now, from Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world, enjoy Three with our hostess, Mona Van Joseph.
Welcome again, everyone, to this episode of THREE.Vegas. And I have to say, I think we're hitting our stride with the program. We're getting a lot of response over the website. A lot of people want to find out the answers to their most important questions here. And we love that you're responding. And thank you so much for that. We'll also love some of the feedback that we've been getting, because you guys have been very thoughtful and kind about it. And I think it's because you know that we're presenting a very collaborative, very loving, very empathetic, intuitive broadcast to you. So we love that we're here for you. So our first caller, our video caller is the fabulous Jay. So Jay, are you live on the air with us?
I am live on the air with you.
Oh, that's so wonderful. So the way it's going to work is that you're going to decide which one of us you want to have answer your question first. So who would you like to have answer your question first?
Why don't we start with Rainey?
Okay, you got
Son
it.
of a gun.
A son of a gun. Okay. So and now what is your question for Rainey?
My question is, my company's been in business for 39 years, and we always try to stay fresh and in tune with what's going on. Really, I'd just like to know the direction for my company right now.
So before you even ask the question, I wrote down the word lists, Lists. I think this needs to be a little more organic, not just checking the boxes. It feels that you may need to scrub it and kind of not rebuild it, because that's not the right word, but maybe a facelift, maybe a new approach to kind of give it that freshness. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful thing you're doing. I think it's very prosperous and go on for a long, long time. I'm just feeling that it's a little stagnant. Does that resonate with you?
Completely. And we're in the process of doing a facelift.
Yeah. And what I would love to see you do is some team building, so that And I would love a little more cross training. And it's not me saying I would love, Spirit is telling me some cross training, empowering people, making sure that people in their jobs, it resonates with them. And if not, maybe finding another little niche for them. But cross training would empower people to feel like, wow, I'm invested in this. Look at all this stuff that they're doing for me. There are a couple of pot stirrers, and I think they're women. And I think that they need to be kind of brought aside and say, hey, and you know, the HR thing where we need to give you a progressive performance, blah, blah, blah. I think this is just more of a heart to heart. Hey guys, what's going on? What can we do better? What are you feeling? Because when someone feels like they're being heard, even though I know you're hearing them, it's probably just the mechanics of it in order to make them feel more invested and that they matter and that they don't have to be this pot stir. Does that sound like a couple of women in your group?
Oh yeah, we're already dealing with it.
Yeah, but I think it's important that you take what they say, some of it, to heart. Most of it, take it with a grain of salt, but there is some validity in this. And I think this is a beautiful revolution that's starting to happen. And I think if you find them maybe some more engagement, something that fills them up rather than feeling empty and they've got to create static in order to feel, would be beneficial. And then if that does not work, I know that one of them you're going to probably have to not gently let go, because this person is digging in their heels and she's been there quite a while, and she feels entitled. I'm trying to get a name. Give me a few minutes. Maybe I'll come up with a name, but don't just check the boxes. Kind of hit it from a little bit of a different approach, Maybe have a barbecue out in the park and have some really fun games to where you kind of force people to work together, like running with a water balloon between their legs or an egg or something really funny. But it just
The martini dash.
Yes, cocktails are always the answer to everything.
Martini dash.
And the lists. I got to talk about the lists. The lists need to be a little more transparent. They're showing me that when people feel like things are being hidden from them, it causes more discomfort. Is that something you would understand?
Well, yeah, I don't have any employees. They're all independent contractors. They're all actors.
But they're still a part of this organization.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I would do away with some of the lists and maybe make it more interactive. I think there's some people that are a little hesitant to come into the digital world. And maybe they're just uncomfortable because they kind of struggle. So you may have to give a couple of those people a little bit more attention. But if you do this, oh my goodness, the sky is the limit. My darling, it starts at the top and you are a wonderful leader. And wow, how far you've come. I see how far you're going to go. And there's going to come a time where you're going to have to let go of the reins and kind of observe and just be the observer and allow others to kind of continue this legacy, but you still get passive income. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to jump in because I can't wait to jump in. Okay, so first of all, I was being bombarded while Rainey was talking to you with some impressions, and I'm not even going to do the cards yet. The first is you have a book in you. And I think the book is about how your own connection to spirit and your own intuitive ability has managed for you to shift gears very quickly when you've needed to do it. That's number one. Number two, I wonder if you would actually create a series for, say, Netflix that would be a comedy series about doing what you do as a profession. So now, you guys, I got full disclosure here. I've known Jay for over 20 years. I have been to some of Jay's fabulous his murder mysteries that he's done at Lowry's and some of the other places. I've actually got to participate in a couple of them, which was wonderful. But what makes him so brilliant at what he does is even if there's a quote mistake during one of his performances, he has a way of turning it into something positive. Like I remember during one of his performances, he was actually in drag and there was an accident with the wig. And everybody laughed. Everybody just lost it. And they actually made it part of the show because even though it was an accident, they went with it. Well, Jay has always been very good at being in the moment, but I keep getting a screenplay, a book, a series. I see you actually still doing what you're doing, but I see you on a TED Talk almost having people collaborate as though they are working a script, that it's almost as if you do a TED Talk where you went to a company and you said, I gave everybody a script. They all had to act out a certain role. And that because they acted out a certain role, they ended up being a better cohesive team. Like, in other words, you make the CEO act like he's the director of sales. You make the HR person act like they're the CEO. You make the director of sales act like they're the HR person. And that you create a script where they have to talk about the things that are kind of uncomfortable. But now I'm going to do your cards because I couldn't wait to tell you that. So
Thanks.
Hold on.
Okay.
It's like how to use your intuition to be a success. That would be the vibe that I would go with. It's like intuitive success, which falls into any category. So you're around a lot of people, Jay, but you don't really like a lot of people. I know that's a bold statement, but you're very picky who actually gets your private time. So when you're working a room, when you're networking, you can be all that in a bag of chips. But really, at the end of the day, there's very few people that you invite to your house to watch Netflix and eat, Cheetos on your couch. I'm just saying. You actually love this work. So, and it says that you're with a partner that loves you and loves that you love your work. So I'm not worried about your personal life at all. It literally says that this is about you letting go of what's not working with you in your work to embrace the work that you love the most. Now, again, the gift of being talented at a lot of things is you're talented at a lot of things. The downside of being talented at a lot of things is for you to focus on one, because you're very easily distracted. Oh, that's sparkling over there. Oh, I could do this over here. And what it's saying is that for you to focus on the thing that you are the best at makes you fall in love with your life. And I actually get a very powerful 6 to 8 year period for you, where it may be that you create, these video versions of what you do, and people buy the video of what you do. And now, as I don't, did you already say it, or am I getting it in my head? I'm getting in my head residual income. Passive, you said it, passive income from sources that you created something, and now it's its own little cash cow. But these are very, very powerful cards, Jay. And I'm telling you, there's something bigger. But I could totally see, like the series, I don't know if you remember the series Just Shoot Me. I could almost see you doing a series like that for your performances, that it's all the behind the scenes comedy or behind the scenes actions that go toward creating that in the first place.
May
Very
I add
cool.
something to
Thank
that
you.
real quick?
Absolutely.
So I am clearly getting a man by the name of Barbara Robert that you just were very close with. I'm getting that movie, The Bohemian Rhapsody, and Beautiful Eddie Mercury, how he passed before a lot of the medication came out. Did you know somebody like that?
I have somebody named Robert that I knew from San Francisco area.
Yes. Please make sure you include some of those very difficult subjects that need to be addressed in the comedy as well. You have a message, and that's maybe part of the book that could really, I don't think you understand how powerful you are, and that communities need you, and they want you to show some of those down hard times, some of those really heart-wrenching. When I watched that movie Bohemian Rhapsody, I cried at the end.
Yeah, who didn't?
Just tearful. I feel like I'm at the end of Titanic, and everybody is just like, we have just been to a gigantic funeral. Your voice needs to be heard. So as you're doing these light, lovely, wonderful comedian things, do not lose that, because they're telling me we need you.
Thank you.
And you got to come out behind the desk in order to do that. I'm kind of an introvert myself, but you got to get out there, my friend. You have a beautiful message to share.
All right, Kris, it's all about you.
Hello, Jay.
Hello, Kris.
So before I jump into your question, I want to just go over your chart a little bit, because you have this incredible chart, and I want to hit some high notes for you. I see there's this placement here that talks about you being very intuitive, and you're like an empath. You're very sensitive to other people's moods and energy, and it makes it to where you're very instinctual. Like, you go based upon instinct. And this gift you actually inherited from a family member, and usually this would be like a mother and or a grandmother or something, usually a feminine family member. But it's really strong. You're actually known for it. Like, people know you to be like this intuitive, instinctual person. Whenever you make decisions based upon your gut instincts, they're always right. Like, you're very good at that. Also, when I was looking at your chart before, I wrote down some things, because I was kind of seeing these placements, and there's this one that talks about you being like a really good homemaker or chef. And I kept saying, are you a good cook? Because I keep seeing like chef. And also it's there's this placement too that talks about your work. So not only your day-to-day work, but also your career and what you're known for. So you have this ability to transform what you do over and over again. So you can recreate your work and completely transform it over and over again. Usually this is like several different types of work. So you might have several different things that you do, like a jack of all trades type deal. And you have a lot of stability with your career because you have this placement of Saturn, and Saturn gives this stability to your, it's not necessarily your day to day because that looks like you transform it so it can fluctuate, but it's what you're known for. You're consistently known for certain thing. And this looks to be in the performing arts or something where it's, there's actually intuitive connection there, as well as some type of performing arts or something like that. Entertainment industry is what I'm picking up. Also there's a couple other things too. There's the stellium in your house of career, and the stellium talks about 3 or more placements. And when we have 3 or more placements in a certain area of our chart, then it amplifies that energy. So you are known for a lot of things publicly, and so your life could be very public. You have a very public image, and because of that, sometimes that kind of forces us to retreat back home. So I actually see that you're more of an introvert, but you live like this public like lifestyle or reputation. There was something else that I wanted to tap in on as well. You're this workaholic. Oh, okay. So,
Oh yeah, that.
Definitely a workaholic.
Don't know what you're talking about.
And so I'm going to jump to your question, though. To answer your question, I'm going to look towards your solar return. So your solar return is your specific horoscope from one birthday to the next, and it's based upon the exact time, location, and date of birth. And so it's very specific to you, and it talks about the themes and things that you can expect to encounter and experience from one birthday to the next. So this solar return is from this past birthday, and it goes through the next birthday. Sometimes they can overlap, so you could have been feeling this energy a little bit before this last birthday, and or you can continue to feel it for a couple months after your next birthday. However, since your question is about work, you have this placement in your 6th house of work on your solar return that it's Neptune. Neptune rules your intuition. So what it talks about is the type of work or the direction that you want to go in. It's going to come to you in intuitive insight. So you're going to use your intuition and your gut instinct to decide what area or what direction you want to take, and it's going to come to you in that's intuitive insight. And it's closely tied to your 1st house of self, which your 1st house in your natal chart is really important part of your chart because it talks about the exact degree that your chart, the direction that your entire chart takes. So that's how we get our personality and our experiences and even our predictions and our horoscopes. And so your moon sits on your AC, which is your exact beginning of your chart. And when that moon sits there, that's how you're intuitive. So in your solar return, this Neptune, this planet of intuition, sits right on your natal chart, your natal moon, right on that natal AC. So that tells me that you're going to be extremely intuitive when it comes to your type of work. So maybe even your work involves something of the metaphysical or spiritual realm.
What's his moon in?
His moon is right there in Pisces. It's also in Neptune. So Pisces is ruled by Neptune. So with him, I get this really strong, like just intuitive gut instinct type of ability. And so this from this past birthday to the next one, you're going to be receiving, and you probably already have, because your solar return has kind of been in place for about 5 months. And so you're going to over the course of the next 5-6 months, you're going to continue to get this intuitive insight, and it's going to be really strong for you too. I mean, it's going to feel very natural because that's your natural inclination.
Do you see him traveling? I see a lot of travel.
He is very lucky in travel. Let me just say that's in your natal chart. Okay. You have the lucky planet Jupiter. I actually wrote it down here. You have
Long psychic girlfriend.
So you have this, you have the lucky planet Jupiter, and it sits in your 9th house of travel. It's foreign travel, long distance travel. It could also be foreign cultures and or languages. So actually where it falls in your chart is it hits right on your MC. So your MC is another very sensitive part in your chart, and it talks about your career, your reputation, what you're known for in this life. So with the lucky planet Jupiter just sitting in your 9th house of travel and long distance travel and foreign countries, but it's so close to that MC, so it's connected, which means you're extremely lucky when you go abroad or to any kind of long distance travel. You adapt really well to different cultures and maybe even another foreign language as well. But your travels bring you opportunities, or you get inspiration, or you meet important people, but it's strongly connected to your career.
I am also seeing that there's another side gig here that you're not aware of that you could start and then have someone run it for you. And it has to do with really incredible jewelry. I'm fake jewelry, but I see a lot of bling, and it really has to do with like earrings and necklaces. And I don't know if you've thought about that, but Alibaba might be your friend, but it's something for you to look in, because then again, there's that other passive income. If you find if you have a person that you know that could do this and run this company for you, because you feel like an octopus. You can handle a lot of things at one time. But think about that, because there's something there, and it's really like exotic and different and huge and blingy and colorful. And I don't know. Does that resonate?
Drag queen shoes.
What?
Shoes for
No,
drag
I
queens.
swear to God, before I said that, I swear to you, in my child's life, I saw the movie Kinky Boots, where they had trouble finding somebody who would make this, and he found a company that would make it, that actually kept the company going.
Yeah.
My friend, jewelry is your next adventure, or an addition. Add another leg.
So again, I am confessing I've known Jay for over 20 years. And every single time I visit with him, he's reinvented himself in some way. But I have to tell you, I get intuitive business, intuitive success. I get some sort of book that you write that is for the everyday CEO and tapping into their everyday HR person, tapping into their own intuitive ability to be able to make judgments about people or decisions about the company, or, how to handle a troubled employee, whatever it is. It's like, but I also see it about you using the model of your own success, that you built what you have from a thought. I mean, you had this thought, I'm going to do this. And then you built everything around it. But then all the other side benefits that have come from that project have developed from there. So I think that I keep getting that there's some other thing that you do. And I think it has to do with like a mini series, a fun mini series that is based on what you do for work now. And it's like, I would love you to play you in the series, because you have that kind of talent, but then you would surround it's almost as if you do it anyway. And that you might film these little mini series and put it out there on the internet. Like, I don't know, you could film it here at WWDB TV and actually get the cast of characters and film it like an episode. You could write the script because you're that talented, and then you just film it in front of a green screen. And you send these little 10-minute movies out there to the world. And then you say, hey, if you'd like my company to make your company even more collaborative, I do it. So I'm getting more big things for you, Jay, over these next few years.
I'm getting like Max or HBO, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Significant. And you can thank us later.
Yeah.
Well, he does.
I will.
planet Jupiter.
Absolutely.
Oh.
It just started and it just changed signs into Gemini, and that's going to go down into his house of communication, broadcasting, publication, teaching.
Basically, you're lucky right now, Jay.
Very lucky in that area
Yeah.
of your life.
Wow.
Thank you.
So now we like to, at the end of our little visit with you, have you give us a little feedback of your experience.
Yes, absolutely. You were all three completely right on. And it was wonderful to listen to you and feel that you were honing in and getting correct information. I have, every time business gets slow, I revamp, I expand, I do something, as opposed to pulling in, I just go out even farther. So that's helped a lot with the business. Now we're just at a point now where we are shuffling the deck with talent. We're moving, bringing in new talent, and letting the pot stirrers know that they've been heard, and that we don't want to step on their feelings, but based on their feelings and what they've shared, it's best that we move on from each other right now. And that's how I've handled it. It wasn't received extremely well by one of them, and that's okay. And when I read the email that she had sent, intuitively I heard, this has nothing to do with me. So that's why I responded the way I did. She felt I was being very cold, and I was saying, well, you're not hearing what I was saying, which is, I heard, thank you for sharing what you shared. You've been heard, and I feel based on your information, what you shared, it's best that we part ways, but thank you so much for all your talent and time and for sharing that.
I love that.
Love and grace. That is beautiful.
So Jay, if you would like, I would love you to do your elevator pitch about your business, so that the people that have tuned into the program can see your website and see how talented you are. Could you give us your elevator pitch?
Absolutely. So I'm Jay Joseph with a touch of mystery, and we take the mystery out of working together. We do interactive murder mysteries, flash mob scavenger hunts, MCs, but the murder mysteries are a lot of fun because we have 22 different stories from the 1920s to current day, musicals with songs woven throughout, and non-musicals. And the great thing about it, it's all improv based, even though there's a full story. We can customize the stories and write up to 5 of your guests into the story, creating extra clues. And we've even expanded to where we'll send out an inspector, and 5 of your guests can either be trained, or your team members can be trained to play the characters and stay in character, answer all the questions, or they just come up to reenact what took place, and then all the questions are asked of the inspector.
Oh, wow.
You should take that to corporations for team building.
We do. We absolutely do. We have I would say 99% of what we do are corporate and team building. But what I am going to expand into is going into corporations, teaching them the art of improv to help them, because improvisation, the most important thing is to learn to listen. So that's going to help them to be better salesmen, better marketers, better what have you. But I haven't reached out with that yet. So I am going to follow through with that now.
Oh, that's wonderful. Jay, thank you so much for being a part of our program. I mean, we really, really love it when people are already on the path to success and they give us a call. It's just, we know that you've created the momentum. We just have to have you pull out some weeds out of your garden.
Absolutely. And I thank you. And intuitively, and I told you this already, Mona, this feels like you have something that is a winner, something that people need right now. And I think you don't understand the traction that you've already started. So
Jay,
it's going to be amazing.
I just got goosebumps.
My butterflies are going to fly off my arm.
Thank you so much, Jay.
And if people want to check us out, we're at www.atouchofmystery.com.
Thank you for that, Jay. I'm sure they will. And again, you are just one of the most amazing people I have had the privilege and honor of knowing. And so thank you so much for tuning in. Your opinion does make a lot of difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Mona. And thank you, Rain and Kris. Thank you, everybody.
God bless.
Bye
Jay.
now.
Bye, Jay.
Wow.
What a lovely soul.
Wasn't that fun?
Yeah.
Oh,
you know, it gave me so many ideas.
Well, it's funny because there are some people that that we all do readings for people, and sometimes we're coming up with ideas for them that we go, hey, hey, wait a minute, so but I have seen Jay reinvent himself over the years so many times, and he has such a good attitude about it. It's like, if something's not working, he has no problem letting it go and moving on to the next thing. It's just really, really wonderful.
He is the butterfly.
Yes, every time. All right, you guys, this is yet again another fabulous episode here of Vegas. And, join Rainey and Kris and I every week. We launch a new episode every week. And if you'd like to be on the program, please go to THREE.Vegas, www.THREE.Vegas, and go to the How to Be on the Program page, and then send us your information. And then again, we're going to need your first and last name, your phone number, your email address, the day you were born, the time you were born, the place you were born, and one more thing, where you live now. Because that way, when you're at whatever question you're answering, not only can Kris do that from the astrology standpoint, sometimes the place where you are is actually the perfect place to create your future. So with that, thank you, Kris. Thank you, Rainey. And we will see you all next week.
God bless. Thank you.